And slightly in front of the sarcophagus are gold rods, which create a large, brilliant beam. In the background, exactly opposite the opening, is a half-open stone garage-type door, but one cannot see what lies behind it. Carved on the door is the head of Alexander, and the inscription, Alexander, King of the Macedonians. On the right, exactly opposite the sarcophagus and at a vertical angle, is a large marble council table with 6 marble seats along one length, another 6 marble seats along the other, and a throne-like seat at the head of the table. On the throne is a bird. The white-haired Jordanian said it symbolizes he who will come again. Standing along the edge of the burial chamber are small ceramic jars filled with strange liquids. The entire chamber is uniformly illuminated by a bluish stone in the shape of a heart, which stands on a metallic stick sunk into the stone floor. Even more peculiar is the fact that there is no trace of dust anywhere. The Jordanian maintained that in the spherical chamber of the sarcophagus, everything is sparkling clean. Concluding his story, he told Paul, when they had arranged everything, those who placed Alexander in there activated the magnetic field. Since then, up to now, and perhaps forever, the chamber will not be violated by the entry of a human being. After his last visit to Amman, Paul, having collected as much information as he could, discussed once more with Dr. Svikas and Dr. Karayanis whether the story about Alexander's sarcophagus could be true. To the question that arose, how did the sarcophagus with the real Alexander find itself in Amman, and how did the false sarcophagus arrive with pomp and ceremony in Alexandria, Paul replied with the Jordanian's assertion that Aridaeus had made sure that the shrouded Alexander was replaced with another body shortly before the opulent royal carriage left to be pulled by 64 mules from Babylon to Alexandria. The Jordanian also claimed that Alexander's body did not remain in Babylon for 2 years, but for 4 years. And when Ptolemy of Egypt intercepted the carriage with the body of the false Alexander at the Syrian border to take it to Alexandria, the real body had already been transferred to Jordan. Can any light be shed on this mystery? A serious possibility is that Alexandria shelters the sarcophagus of Alexander under the new city, just as it hosts the bodies of his royal successors, the Ptolemies of Egypt. From one sole source, we learn that his magnificent mausoleum is in the form of a pyramid, similar to those of the illustrious pharaohs. Those who passionately seek the mummy of Alexander also say that the great secret is concealed under the mysterious graves of the Ptolemies. Other historical sources inform us that Alexander's sarcophagus was made of gold, just like the sarcophagus of Tutankhamun. However, when one of the Ptolemies needed money, he substituted it with a transparent one of crystal or alabaster. Perhaps this story could be connected with Alexander's crystal sarcophagus in Amman. Alexander's known sarcophagus was seen for the last time in 215 AD. Subsequently, the official sources of information are lost in the darkness of ignorance. Perhaps the body, together with the sarcophagus, was burned in Alexandria during an uprising in 270 AD. Maybe Alexander the Great's loyal followers secretly took the sarcophagus to El Baraki in Siva. The more the pages of history are shrouded in mist, the more interest is aroused among international historians and archaeologists in finding the most legendary body of all time. Alexandria, Siva, Macedonia, Amman. Nothing can be ruled out. In between the probable and the improbable, God always places a query. Man has to strive to find answers to this question so that people can experience progress. Behind Alexander the Great's every major thought or act, we must seek Aristotle. The young man had the opportunity to learn from the greatest scientist sage of the ancient world, who once told him, "The highest virtue of man involves the activity of the soul." Plutarch notes that Alexander fervently believed that a real king is one who conquers himself and not others. On every philosophical theory of Alexander's about man, the soul, and the world, Aristotle placed his own mark. It was he who planted in his student's soul that if he strives to conquer the peak will belong to him. In cultivating the soul, Alexander sought the peak. In relation to friendship, rivalry, reconciliation, valor, courage, patriotism, and generosity, he sought the peak. In his visions, his planning, his conquest of cities and states, in the dispensation of justice, in the demeanor of victors towards the defeated, and in honoring the dead, Alexander sought the peak. Alexander the Great envisaged the society of the gods. He saw clearly before him Hercules, Theseus, Dionysus, Apollo, and Zeus. These ideals, the eternal ideals of the ancient world, activated within him the cosmic mechanism that united man with the divine. Poets, writers, sculptors, painters, historians, and musicians throughout the ages have praised and glorified the greatest hero of all time, Alexander, a student of Aristotle. He who not only conquered the souls of people, who not only defeated the Persians and the barbarians of his era, but who defeated time itself.